Hello to all you Virgos. Hello and welcome to this very general horoscope for Virgos for the month of November 2012. Now for the Virgos, two important things are happening. One of them is a solar eclipse. That's important for everyone. Also for Virgos, of course. And the other thing is the Mercury retrograde that I'm going to focus on because there are happening a lot of aspects, but that's just a couple of days. So Virgo is ruled by Mercury. It is and Mercury is a planet that is going retrograde this month. Now, in general, for Virgos who've got like maybe a lot of Virgos have Mercury in Virgo. Not all of them, but a lot. It's a good thing to go retrograde because they are used to that. They are used to every now and then, a couple of times in a year, approximately 3 times a year, there are these Mercury periods that are going retrograde. And yes, for a lot of people, it can mean delays, internet problems, traveling problems, and so on. But you really have to go and look specifically to your chart, your special, unique chart to know that. But in general for Virgos, it's a rather good thing, I think, because it reflects that you want to rethink things, because this is all happening in your 3rd house of Scorpio. So the 6th November it goes retrograde. Until I think around 27th of November, then it goes direct again. So it's at the very beginning of Sagittarius in your 4th house, and then it goes back into your 3rd house in Scorpio. What does it mean? It means that you just had a little focus of your thoughts of the 4th house stuff, so your roots, maybe family, maybe revisiting family, or maybe when you live abroad, you're going to visit your country of origin. It can also mean that you just do deep thinking about the past. So that started at the beginning of the week of November. But then it goes backwards into the 3rd house. It means or it reflects that still some work has to be done relating to your way of thinking, because the 3rd house is the house of it's a mercurial house. It's the house of Gemini, and also ruled by Mercury, and it's the house of how you think and how you communicate. And now the very interesting thing is that there is a solar eclipse happening in that 3rd house. So again, an emphasis on that house of how you communicate towards other people in your day-to-day life, how you understand things on a very mundane level. And I have put a link of another video of mine which is all about solar eclipses, and the important thing that I want to say now is that these are not random. The solar eclipses are not random. They belong to a certain Saros family. And this eclipse, so you've got eclipses that are very challenging, very difficult, that are all about separation or something like that. And you've got eclipses that are very positive, with a positive flavor. Now this one happening on the 13th of November, where the Sun conjuncts the Moon in your 3rd house in Scorpio, is a very positive one. Why? Because 2 ingredients here, and that is enjoyment and commitment and connecting. So if you plot this into the chart of Virgo in general, this means that a lot of Virgos are going to commit themselves and connect with certain ideas, with certain networking, with certain things that a pattern of thinking that they want to use, and maybe renew this. And maybe a lot of Virgos are going to get more serious in their communication because it's in Scorpio, and more deep. So it's kind of a contradiction, because Scorpio is very deep And the third house is very, you know, very being here and being there at the same time. So it's a contradiction. But I'm sure that a lot of Virgos will just rethink their way of communication. Now, this solar eclipse happens on the 13th of November, but it is a building up, and it will have, how would I put it? You will have, or you will see consequences in your life the upcoming months. I explain that in more detail if you are interested in astrology in that other video. But it is sure that for a lot of Virgos, this will be very important to kind of maybe learn something new, something brand new, maybe follow a new course, maybe or teach you yourself in a totally different way. So in a very easy way. It's the third house, it's easy communication, but in a very deep way. So, very interesting for Virgos, because most Virgos do like to communicate, and it's such an emphasis with this solar eclipse, which is also bringing the enjoyment of connecting and the enjoyment of communicating, which I think will be very cool for the most Virgos amongst you. So have all the fun with the solar eclipse and the Mercury retrograde. Just be aware that when things are delaying with letters and communication, just try to understand what the meaning is, and you will find the meaning, because it's in Scorpio. You will dig deep in your thinking. Wish you all the luck, and see you next month. Bye bye.